Okay. As somebody introduced me, this my quick introduction again. I'm associate director, cloud AI, cloud and AI architect at UBS. This is my social LinkedIn X and also available on Topmate. Now I'm kind of measuring tracks as well. So you have queries, or implementing and always contact me on top. Okay. Right? So I think this is what we are waiting for, right? Conversational observability, right? Investigating the roadblocks or the metrics, debugging them, and resolve the help of model context protocol, Grafana, right? And also we'll see some super cool AI systems will help us have a conversational observability with the Grafana server and the LGTM stack. All right. In today's world, right? So, Chakravarti sir has talked about cloud native versus the other options we have got. We have multi-region and all those things which we just looked in the first speech, right? Now, teams definitely need AI-powered observability in today's world, right? If you see the evolution of observability, now we all know, right? We've been monitoring our systems, checking the logs, going to the server, managing the server, checking the logs, debugging, and finding out the root causes, right? That's where we started. That's monitoring. Um, Moving on to the next thing, there was the word called observability, right? Which gives more insights of our system. If you see here, tools cloud native apps were mentioned, and infra complexity was also there because we have microservices, distributed systems, right? The modern architecture of our services, and exponential data growth. There are so many tools introduced in observability, and there was so much of data put up. Like so, there's, you see a dashboard. There's so much of data that we really cannot identify or get into what the data tells us. Right? That was the space. Now, putting all these tools together, powered by AI, today we can have conversation with the observability with the help of the tools. Right? One such tool is Grafana MCP, which connects us to the Grafana servers, having all the data sources, the LGTM stack, even inner data sources as well, not the LGTM stack only, even the other data sources, right? So this picture gives us the evolution of observability, right, where we started from, then the observability. Now we have unified visibility, open and extensible platform, and interactive, enable insights and AI. So I just try to um, the recent new block diagram understands how my demo works today, right? So the user enters prompts, right? For example, what's my CPU, of the cluster? Tell me the CPU of the cluster in layman language, right? So prompt go to we have ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Meta, many others, right? And then we see the conversation in the backend happens through JSON RPC 2.0 in a string format. As I mentioned there, it's server sent events (SSE). My MCP Grafana is running on server sent events (SSE) mode, and it's written in Go language, and we can host multiple entities. I'll show that in the demo, right? So you can host multiple MCPs, and then the Grafana server, the data comes from Grafana server through an API key. And to configure an API key, which will connect to the Grafana server and get all the data. But if part is like we have our ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Meta, Llama, or you can build your own AI system as well using OpenWebUI and Llama Open Native. Right? So this is like, I'm not repeating again. I'm just sort of kind of repeat what I'm speaking about today, right? But it's short time, right? Now, Grafana Cloud, you can see this is why Grafana Cloud is on, with some dashboards, data sources, right? These are all data sources configured on my Grafana. We look for Loki, Prometheus, Tempo, so MCP super assistants. This was introduced like a couple of months back, where we can have uh, plugins within Chrome, which allows any of the chat elements to directly elicit data from the entity servers. We'll see that in a while. But this was introduced a couple of months back, and it is quite powerful. I'll show you the code as well. How we, with a single command, I can run, execute 4 or 5 MCP servers. That will be Grafana, Loki MCP, K6 MCP as well. And let's see the code. Is it visible?
It doesn't let him be. I'll grab this. I moved it back. Oh, this is so annoying.
This is contribution file. All the MCP servers configured. One is my MCP Grafana. This is the public image, which requires environment variable, the URL, and the service account token.
Mukesh.
Next comes my Prometheus MCP server. This is again the public image, and it requires the Prometheus URL, which is hosted locally on my machine. The MCP server
Exit
hosted locally on my machine,
it's going to
and it requires the image.
laptop.
So you get
Let's
the Loki MCP server, public image,
too many
and the
icons.
URL.
So like the screen is
Even I have the MCP server hosted locally, which is built on Python. Right? So you can create your own MCP servers, host it either locally or any of the other platforms like Azure, AWS, and so configure that web URL in any of your chat elements, and you can get the data. Right? So this is the configuration file. Now let's share the ranges.
आपका लैपटॉप हमारे पास नहीं है, निकल है इसलिए do that. I see. Right. Presenting there.
Right? All the two fancy servers are running my local machine. Let's stop it and start it. then save my Chrome browser
Or the
to see the message.
they want to open it. So they make open.
Right? I've stopped it.
So that need to be done from their side or from their end. I think you can also join the packet. Okay. You should go.
MCP Super Assistant on the public link and how far the config.json we saw earlier.
I remember.
It has all the MCP servers configured. Started. Let's check the logs. Restarting Grafana server. Server has 39 tools, right? So any MCP server talks in terms of tools. So we'll also see the tools on the ChatGPT or the Perplexity, right? So all these tools, all the chat, the streams happen through the tools, the list of tools. We'll also list the tools, we'll see, and then we'll start query the data sources, get a list of data sources, query the data sources. Even we can fetch logs from Loki. That's how powerful these MCP servers are, and that's how the conversational observability possible. So my Grafana server is up. Prometheus is starting. Prometheus successfully initialized server Prometheus. Successfully initialized server Loki MCP. And right, successfully initialized server this. All this is are all initialized. And basically all these are SSE events, server set events that happen through streaming. Now let me share Chrome. So we have seen the MCP Super Assistant needs to be added as a plugin to the Chrome. Now it is already added. Let's go to the ChatGPT. Right? What is that? Server connected. When you add the extension to the Chrome, you will get a window as such, and you'll be able to see the available tools. Let's go down here. See, I've got Grafana with 39 tools, Prometheus with 5 tools, Loki MCP server 3 tools, K6 with 2 tools. So this is how powerful it is. It's not only ChatGPT in the same browser, how Perplexity is. Just refresh. That is the same tools are also loaded in a different channel, right? So whether we have multiple assistants, maybe in your enterprise or wherever you're working in the firm, right? It doesn't matter with this. You can in a single window, you can having the MCP servers running on a single server and connect the multiple chat elements and see the outputs, differentiate between the outputs, how they are performing. Right? Now once the MCP servers are all connected, let me just show you the list of the tools available here. Right? For now, Tempo is not available, but we have Pyroscope. Even you can get alert rules. What alert has triggered. Investigate that alert. So we'll not see the alerts right now, but we'll see the Loki log, the process. Yeah, sorry. Now that we have the tools, the ChatGPT, this is why, right? The ChatGPT or Perplexity allow us to have conversations with our Grafana server with ease. Let's see that. Here you get the MCP icon. Either you attach it like the file, or you can insert the instructions here. Let's say your daily limit of attaching the file is done, right? You can also insert the alerts here. And then I'll show the same on ChatGPT as well. Now the key here is the prompt, right? You need to learn how to converse with the observability as well, with your servers as well, right? The ChatGPT by itself can't do that, or other channels can't do that. So you need to try to run different tabs, different prompts, and understand how the does it. I'll say get the rest of the from your already has. You can do that for ChatGPT as well. So this is how the process from the files. The data sources I thought earlier, right? All the data sources now are listed on the chat. Right? Now, the ChatGPT has got the context of your Grafana server and the list of data sources first. Now we'll try to ask, so maybe the CPU or health of my, I'm using hotel as a connector. Let me ask how's my hotel health. This is the beauty. It has the context of there are multiple data sources, not a single data source, right? So it's asking me monitor example like the prompt is Tech Galaxy or the Grafana Cloud prompt. There are two different data sources, right? So I'll tell that get the from this Tech Galaxy which is running on the Azure. The up job. It gives me the query. It fires the query on the tool query Prometheus. Now let's see. So it tells me with this job there is no data. That's absolutely fine, right? So just in the interest of time, what I'll do is that let us create a dashboard as a for state and just see whether it creates a dashboard for me on my Grafana server or not. Create oh, you know, or then let's go on. When you don't have the insights of the tool, right? When you don't know the LGPM, when you don't know what is how these are configured, this helps us to have conversation between my observation tool and our filter. So if they that so it's asking more, more and more prompts, right? That's great. Let's see now it's running. Success. Until now, that's fine. Also explain if you tell that explain me the ops or explain me the the metrics or something, right? This without that knowledge, you would not understand what the data gives me, right? So also explain that. So let's quickly check the dashboard is created or let's try one thing. Last time. But that's data sequence. Let's see. Let's quickly refresh and see. No, it has printed me an empty data. If you don't tell again, create panel so and so, you can just update the same dashboard again and again, and you can see your beautiful graphs or your bar chart, pie chart, with ease. So we now have converse with the observability tools with the help of MCP servers and getting the meaningful output, understanding what the data tells us, right? Oh, we all got it. Yeah. Right. So that ends my demo, right? And yeah, this is Grafana and Friends Hyderabad meetup group, LinkedIn group. So you can join or you'll see the updates on the LinkedIn page when we have our next meetup. So we're planning on in month of September. So,